Hi, I'm Tash from Heart and Design. Here on my channel, I hope to provide a safe space for everyone to learn art, no matter what stage you are at. I appreciate you for clicking through and welcome to the Heart Tribe. Please subscribe, like, comment or share if you haven't already. Today we're going to colour up this bumblebee with coloured pencils. You'll need some sketch paper, you'll need the sheet that has the designs on to take you through the drawing step by step, or you can just look at the video here and draw it yourself. We've got all the coloured pencils that I've matched up for how I want my bee to look. I've got 2 shades of yellow so that we can do a bit of light and dark, 2 shades of blue so that we can do a bit of light and dark, and a dark grey and a black to do different shades of light and dark. Now the reason why I say that is because it's really important to have value to kind of make your image a bit more 3D. Okay, so let's get started. I haven't drawn the face on, I'm going to do that last thing, so I'll do that over the colouring. So I think we'll just start with the yellows. Now I'm going to start with just doing 1 layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to do all of the colours once all over. Then we're going to do something called blending, which you will need one of these for, if possible. Okay, it's called a blending pencil. So if you've got one of those, great. If not, it doesn't matter, you can still do this, but perhaps get one for the future, because once you see how it works, I can really recommend it. Right, so need the yellow on the body stripes as well, so we'll go in and do those. Please also, if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments. This is a beginner tutorial in drawing and colouring in pencil. These are illustrations. As we go along, I will be doing various levels of advance in artwork, from beginner to intermediate to start with, and eventually higher level, but I'm still learning myself, so we'll see how that goes. So now I'm going in with the lighter colours of both options. I'm working in circles. Okay, it's really important to try and work in circles and use the side rather than the point of your pencil, and keep turning it so that you don't get one really flat side and you're using up all the pencil pigment and there's no waste of your pencil, because we all know art supplies are not necessarily the cheapest, so we make it last as much as we can. So here I am trying to use the point a bit to go into the little areas, but then as soon as I can, I'm back into circles again, trying not to leave any strokes from my colouring in anywhere. Okay, and I can see that I've kind of missed that there. Now don't forget, you can move the paper around as much as you need. At the moment I'm trying to keep it still so that you can see on my overhead camera, but there's also another camera over there recording in portrait for reels and for TikTok, so if I keep it in the space I've got it, I know it's recording for me. Okay, so we're going to go all the way around using the side of the pencil like so. There we are. Okay, and then we are going to go in with the grey now, which we know it's black, but we're going to do grey so that we can have some darker areas with the black pencil. So I'm just going in now with 1 layer of the grey, trying to still work in circles. I'm holding the pencil at the end rather than close to the point, because that's for when you do detail, and that tends to be where you press harder and you'll see the strokes, but that's when you want the strokes, when you're putting in some detail. So I'm just getting as much pigment down as I can from that grey. There we go. There. So I'm going to go in now with my blending pencil. It doesn't have to be sharp, but what this does is blend all your coloured pencil So it makes, as you can see, it brings, it makes the colour vibrant, kind of pushes the colour into the teeth of the paper, into the tooth of the paper. And then once we've done the first layer, we can decide, do we need to do another layer before we do the shading, or is there enough colour down? I think we might need to do another layer. I think the next layer we'll do will be another kind of layer of colour that's already there, and then we'll go in with our shading. Right, let's do the grey. And just push, basically I'm just pushing the pigment of the pencil around. Don't press too hard because you'll squash the paper, you'll crush the teeth. So I'm just going over it rather than pushing. I'm just kind of colouring over it. Okay, so now we're going to do the wings. Yeah, that's better. It's just kind of smooths it out and fills in some of the white gaps of the paper. It just pushing the pigment into each other, so you can see it's a bit smoother than of that side. So keep doing that just for a minute. Do the other wing here. We can do more in a minute anyway when we put another layer on. I was very light with that layer so I am going to go in and do another layer on top of that, because then we'll really get the colour coming out. You can see now, can't you, on screen, that we've now got a really good base to kind of fill in the teeth of the paper and push the pigment into places where it wasn't before. And that's why we do 2 layers. You probably won't get much more than 2 layers on the paper, because eventually the tooth of the paper starts to fill, and yeah, it just won't take anymore. It's just, that's it, it's full. Anything else just slides around. So I am going in now, holding my pencil a little closer, just trying to make sure I've got enough pigment down so that I'm happy that it's the colour I want it to be. Still trying to go around in circles, even if they're littler ones, to get into the detail, because again you won't get the streaks. Okay, so I'm going to go in now with some highlights, with some shading, just to give it some 3D-ness. It doesn't really matter where you put it. This is an illustration, it's not real life or anything, but it does help to just give it some dimension. I tend to put darker in the corners and around the edges where it might be shadowed. So just try to imagine where the light's coming from and imagine where the shadows might be. And there we go. Might have another one there, right, a little bit of shadow here. Yep. Okay, so you're going to do the same here. Don't need to press too hard because it's a darker colour, it will come out anyway when we blend it in. So here I am still trying to do circles, but of course at times I need to go into make nice kind of little points with the shading. So I do tend to go then into holding it close and doing detail. There we go, just fill that part of that in a bit more. Happy with that. I might just come around a bit here. Okay, right, so I want to get my blender again. Oh no, not blending time yet. I want to go in and do my second pass of another sort of darker yellow on the yellow that's already there, and just again I'm just creating a bit of shade maybe around the edges, which then makes him pop a little bit out of the page, makes him look a bit more 3D, and it shows that the body's rounder so we get the shadows. around the edges and a lighter bit in the middle, and in a minute we'll blend it in and it won't seem like it's so patchy. There we go. And we'll do the same kind of around the face, if we can get it on there. The paper won't take much more. You can start to feel that it's quite full. Okay, but you can see there that I have added another layer of colour anyway. It's giving it a 3D dimension. I'm going to do the same on the stripes. Now this will show up quite well because the black is very highly pigmented. So we're going to go in, get that colour down. There we go. That's making him look more 3D, isn't it? It's kind of popping off the page a little bit. So we'll do that. Okay, that's about right. And it shows where the sun's kind of hitting then. I'm going to leave any of the black marks because what you also need is some kind of black liner pen. I mean, you could even use like a black biro if you have that, or a black gel pen, anything that you have. You can also just go over again with the black pencil all the lines that you have. I just like to bring it out and make it pop with a liner pen. So first we're going to just blend in the shading that we've done with our blending tool. It just gives it that nice smoother finishing touch. So get quite close to it, the end of the pencil, and really get in there and blend that pencil in. Okay, because we did do another layer, and we did the shading as well. Sorry, I seem to be struggling to use my brain and concentrating on colouring today. So if I go quiet, it's because I'm just trying to concentrate and get it right for you guys. But you know, you can colour along with this. So this is a full video, not a speed. So not sped up video, speeded. So you can just create along with me. If there's anywhere where I can see some pencil strokes, I'm just trying to go over and make sure I've got rid. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so now we can go over and do our lines. Okay, around. There we go. Now I'm going to put its body like this. Okay, so now it's starting to pop out of the page because we're giving it its line out, but in all honesty it doesn't really need that line. If you wanted to have left it as it was, that would be completely fine as well, or you could line it with a black coloured pencil. Whatever you have, just use whatever you have. So this kind of tutorial, this kind of illustration would be good for you to use in any of your sketchbooks, to do a daily drawing, to do in your scrapbooks. This is, remember, a beginner tutorial, a complete beginner. So if you're just starting out, it is perfect for you. And we will move on. I mean, you have learnt here if you followed on my website and you've got the tutorial, you will have learned how to draw this yourself completely. You will have learned how to colour it, how to shade it, and that is the basics for moving on to the next level when we start to draw things from reference photos and real life. But these ones are perfect just to get you started. And just imagine the progress you can make if you keep following along with my tutorials. I'm so excited to get started on this project. I used to be a teacher, and teaching is my passion alongside art. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of your work and seeing you grow. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one.